we use UTC for our schedule. So I'm joining from Japan today, so it's pretty evening here. How about you? So, so where are you joining from? Hey, okay. So I'm talking about so first time opening before opening talk. Yes. So please, so if you would like, please share your location in the chat, pre chatting. So I always love seeing how global this globe is. So and feel free to share a quick message about how you are feeling today as well. Yes, I see joining from Philippines. Welcome. India, yes. Feeling great. Yes, nice. Koji, yes. Hello, Chaitanya. It's India. Namaste, right? From India. Oh, what? Oh, so hard. Great, great. Mhm. Oh, nice Philippines. Yes, I love it. Mm, great. Oh, thank you, everyone. So, all right, let's get started. So, first of all, thank you so much for being here today. I'm really happy to spend this time together with all of you. So, and to our speakers, thank you as well. We truly appreciate you being here and taking the time to share your stories with us. So we have a wonderful lineup today with speakers bringing different experience and perspectives from around the world. I'm really looking forward to hearing from each of them. So even if it's just one small moment or one idea, I hope today inspires you, sparks your curiosity, or helps you make a new connection. And of course, please feel free to join the conversation, share your thoughts, drop your social links, yeah, like Claudia. Yes. So, or simply say hello in the chat. This is our global meetup. So let's keep the atmosphere warm, open, and welcoming. This is our hashtag. Okay. So, I started this community with the hope of bringing people together, not only people who care about AWS, but also people who care about each other. So now I co-organize this community with Yuki, and I'm happy to share that Yuki will also be joining us today as one as of our speakers. Sorry, fast speaker. So we are always happy to welcome. No, sorry. Happy. Yes. Sorry. And we are always happy to welcome anyone who'd like to get involved. If you are interested in helping out, or if you just like to feel more connected to the community, please feel free to reach out to us. Let's keep growing this community together. So next, so now let me walk you through today's lineup. We have four wonderful speakers joining us today. So Bumi, Claudia, Darani, and Yuki. So they will be presenting in this order. So they're joining us from different countries, right? And different time zones around the world, which really shows how global this community is. So each speaker bringing their own stories, ideas, and the culture background. And I'm sure you enjoy hearing their perspectives. So each session will be about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll take a few questions. So if you have any questions or comments during the talks, please feel free to drop them in the Zoom chat at any time. So we'd love to hear from you. So we'll follow the order shown on the slides, and the full session will run for about 2 hours. So please stay with us as long as you can. There's a lot to enjoy all the way through. So let's give our speakers a warm welcome. I'm truly happy to have all of you here as part of this global community. So, and to our speakers, thank you so much again for your time and for sharing with us today. So, uh, before we move on, I have a quick note for everyone joining us today. So this meetup is streamed on both Zoom and YouTube. So please feel free to choose the platform that works best for you. So if you are joining us on Zoom, you are welcome to use the chat at any time, right? So whether it's a question, reaction, or something you'd simply like to share. So your message really help make a decision more interactive. So toward the end of the event, if you'd like to speak, you are welcome to unmute and say a few words. So even a short comment is more than enough. So let's keep this space open and welcoming as we build this global community together. So, next, so how many of you are joining us for the first time today? And if you were being here before we come back, I'm really great to see you again. Thank you. So before we continue, so I'd like to share a little about this community. This is something I talk about every time because it's very important to us. So we started this group to create a warm and open space where people from all over the world come together, so learn and grow. And this is not a place where right or wrong answers matter most. So what We really value the things you notice, the feelings you discover, and the new connections you make along the way. So, AWS and the technology are our starting point, but our goal is it to connect with people and to spark ideas, even small ones, that might help you take your next step. So we also love welcoming first-time speakers and the people who may not have had many chances to share their stories before. So this is meant to be a safe, the friendly space for everyone. So I truly hope this community feels like a place where you can learn, connected with others, grow together as part of this global community. So uh, we also have Discord, so please feel free to use it as an open space to connect it with others. And here, let's quick look at what's coming up next. So please take a moment to check the dates. So we love to see you again next month. And of course, in the months ahead as well. So, and if you're interested in being a speaker, we are currently looking for speakers for April, please. So please feel free to reach out. Uh, please DM for me. So it's not just for first-time speakers. If you are looking for places to speak, or if you simply have something you'd like to share, you are always welcome to join us. So we are always happy to welcome new voices and new stories. And we truly hope you continue joining us and help keep this community active, open, and full of energy. So we host this meetup every month. So we hope you're joining us again anytime. And if you ever feel like speaking, please feel free to DM me or reach out in any open way on my social media. So whenever you feel ready is perfectly fine. This community is open to speakers and participants from all over the world, and you are always very welcome here. We'd totally love to hear your story. And one last quick announcement. In January, there will be a 24-hour global relay event. Uh, with people from around the world sharing their stories across time zones. We'd love for you to join it. So let's keep being building this and the community together. Thank you. So, all right, let's move on to our first speaker. Ready, Yuki? Yes, perfect. Perfect. Great. Okay, here you go. problem. Thank you so much your presentation today. No, no. So to everyone. So before we move on, I'd like to share a few thoughts of my own after each talk. So I love serverless. So, so you were I know so you are security specialist. So of course AWS offers so many services, which means people from many different backgrounds can use it. So and so many different kind of solution can be created. So good. I worry, no worry. Yes, no, no, no. So, s- everyone so comment. So yes, it will support uh, uh-huh, conversation. Does anyone have any comments? Or what do you have a favorite AWS service? Everyone? Um, you like to share your comments from India? Oh, nice, nice. Oh, very strong. Mm-hmm. YouTube shot. Mm. All right. Thank you. Thank you, sharing. So, all right, let's move on to our next speaker. Bumi.
Yes, let me share my screen.
Yes. Yes, please.
I hope it's visible.
Yes. Great.
Okay, just a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay,
Take
so
time.
hello
Uh-huh.
every hello everyone, and konnichiwa to the people joining from Japan. So today, first of all, thanks to Hiromi for giving this opportunity to express our thoughts and to show like how we are related with AWS and how we are growing with AWS. So today's topic I have chosen is from rural to global. Uh, so before going for my introduction, I would like to ask everyone that are you a believer? If yes, then put yes in the chat. Are you guys a believer or a destiny makers? Uh, yes, people are putting yes. So all are destiny makers, all are believers, right? So I'm in the right chat room right now. I am in the right meeting. So, hello everyone. I'm Bhumi Ganesh Raut, a first AWS Cloud Club captain at Ahilya Nagar, which is a rural area from India. So, it is a rural India. I'm a AWS 2X certified. Then last year in 2025, I completed my AWS New Voices speaker training. And now officially, I have been recognized as a public speaker from Amazon Web Services. And most importantly, I'm a community contributor because I love spending time with community and to speak with the community people. So my journey started from a rural India where there was a lack of awareness of cloud, AWS. So we started with few people, and even my team is joining right now in this meeting. So I'm very happy. Like even they are still with me, and we started with few people, and we started with the agenda from one to many, and so this journey started like there were few peoples and we started our first event with a hybrid event where the speakers were in the online meet and students were in the one room. So we started with the hybrid event. Uh, the next is how this journey started. So this journey started with a curiosity. When I was not a cloud club captain, I was just a learner in a BTech bachelor's of technology, just learning like other students. Then we got an opportunity to coordinate one of the expert session. That employee was from Amazon Web Services visiting to our college to give the sessions on cloud and DevOps. So I just raised my hand that yes, I want to coordinate this initiative. So I coordinated. Then I got an opportunity to visit the AWS student community day at Pune in India. So there, the fun part is I visited there, but I was not aware of like what is cloud. Then what I'm learning over there. I just went there. I just got some goodies. I just clicked a few photographs and I just came written back. Then after a few months, we got an opportunity to apply for the cohort C3 in 2024 for the Cloud Club captainship. Then I just applied, but I was scared of it's a global opportunity and I'm from a rural. Is it for me or not? I was having a lot of doubts and questions in my mind, but I just applied it. And while applying, I applied it at very last moment, like only 5 to 10 minutes were left to click to submit my application to the deadline. I submitted my application, and uh, after 1 month, I got an email of selection that congratulations, welcome to 2024 C3 cohort Cloud Club's captain. And that time the acceptance rate was just 13% and 28% were the women. And that year 19 regions were like added to the cloud clubs, and I was amongst 1146 contestants across the globe. So this that was the moment I was unable to believe, like I have got selected. Then but I got selected, but I was having question like I have been now I am a captain, but what to do next? I started calling so many people, like how to form a club, how to start with the events. Then I started with the hybrid event. Then I form a team of a small group of students. Then step by step, we then I got connected to few user groups in India. Then those UG leaders helped me. Like this is a wonderful community with whom I have started. These are the fellow captains. Then this she was the program lead, Jen Looper, where she came to India. Then we had a great time together at the student community day. Then there after that, then I launched this initiative for the students by the students in our institute. The inspiration behind this initiative was we were in the rural and speakers were in the metro cities. So there was a huge gap that every time we would not able to call the speakers at our institute. So only one thing was clear in my mind was like to stay whatever the problems we have to overcome it. So to overcome the scarcity of speakers, we launched this initiative for the students by the students, where no faculty, no experts, and no industry giants will come. Only students will learn and students will teach each others. And really, this initiative got a huge response. Students started teaching each others in the community. Then they started explaining the concepts to each others, and really it was a great it's a great initiative. Even now we are progressing with this in our institute, as well as the various other institutes are adopting this initiative. Then this was the first ever cross regional event. This was the Indo Hong Kong event. So this is the first ever in AWS Cloud Clubs. This is the first event, first cross regional event, where we two captains from different regions, we organized this event in online mode, and then we shared the some guidance on how to become a next cloud leader or a next cloud captain for the next leadership. So their students were very excited to know about cloud clubs, then to know about AWS. And even after this session, various students applied for the next cohort. Then after rigorous and the constant efforts of so many months, like uh, we we organized the event and we got a huge response. 600 plus participants were there in this event. This event was Cloud Discovery Day, and you can see in this picture there were this crowd you can see. So this was the real satisfaction, yes, that whatever efforts we have taken in the year, now they are worth it. Then when I got selected for the AWS New Voices program, then I got a wonderful community of speakers where no one were perfect. Like few people were not able to speak in English, few were like they were shy, but we started like communicating speaker trenders. Then everyone started communicating with each others in breakout rooms. So this was a wonderful experience in AWS New Voices. uh, then next, after my speaker training, this was my first official talk at a very old college in India, which is Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University, and which is women's only college. Means where it's a women's college, and uh, which has been established by the first Prime Minister of our Lady Prime Minister of our India. So this I got in this opportunity to do the introduction to AWS and cloud computing. So here also I got a huge and a wonderful response from these girls. Then next, I started volunteering our user groups nearby our region, like AWS User Group Pune, where I was volunteering. Like I designed where I handled social media handles of UGs. Then I designed various uh, content of social media. Then I contacted various speakers, experts. Then even I contributed in our college. Then this last image you can see there, we are giving the talks to our students. This is the real reflection of our for the students by the students, where I am also a student giving a session to the audience, and audience is also a student. So here no experts and no teachers were there. We are teaching each others. The next is the result of this constant efforts now started reflecting slowly, like students started participating. So you can see at different community days, the people themselves started getting involved, like attending SCDs, then monthly meetups, weekly meetups. Uh, and then and the most important is people started getting certified. So we started with here we like you can see here the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. So, I, along with the new leadership, our new captain, we started an initiative, AWS Alpha Capsule course, a dedicated capsule course for our students. So, where they can, when they can, even they don't have the monthly meetups in physical mode, but we started it them for in a virtual mode. And the result of this, people now getting like people are now exploring AWS skill builders, AWS educate platforms, and now they are learning at their own pace. Even they are asking the doubts on daily basis. So this is the result of constant efforts. And here are my few recognitions which I have got when I was a captain. So like emerging speaker badge, then gold captain, silver captain, even bronze captain. So this is the small journey. This journey has lot many memories, but can't put in this one presentation as time is limited. So this was my journey, and I think the talent is everywhere, but is it just needs some kind of touch of support. So AWS is a support. Because of AWS, I have got this opportunity to grow and to express myself. So thank you so much. You can connect to me on a LinkedIn, and we can grow more, stay connected, grow together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. So I actually had the opportunity to joining Edwards New Voices as a coach in 2024. So I hope again. So and I truly love the program. So I learned such much from it myself. Mm. So I also really love the Cloud Club program. So I had a chance to experience uh, it last June at the Leader Summit in the Philippines, and it left a strong impression on me. Yeah. So DevOps is such an important area, isn't it? So I work at the SaaS company as well. So I'm currently catching up on the learning in this space. Mm. So I also feel that India is seeing as such as new energy and the growth right now. So I've had community friends in India so for many years, and everyone is so energetic and inspired. So I truly believe, believer, so believe you will become a role model for many people. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes. So
And
that's it.
also looking forward to collaborate with like more such initiatives where our students would also get a chance to express, because even my team is here and they are really active in the chat box too.
Mhm.
So really they are showing up. So if they got a chance to present in such initiatives, this would be a wonderful, and we
Yeah.
could surely connect in the future as well.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, yes, yes, great. Right. So does anyone have any comments or question for Bumi? So the comment, yeah, hi Bumi. If you need help on preparing to take talks to student, let me know. Thank you.
Yeah, even our professor, my mentor is also here in this meeting, Professor Atul Mukher. He is also joining here. So it's very it's really happy moment for me.
Yeah, yes. So wonderful presentation. Yes. Great job. Yeah, great job. Yep. Great story. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Eh,
so I guess there are no questions as such.
no question?
Uh, no, great story and wonderful presentation. Visit. Okay, so here
Yeah,
even our
just a comments
captain
for you.
director is there.
Happy
So
comments.
yeah.
Okay, so once again, thank you so much. All right, let me move on. Next speakers, Ladia, Kulariza, Avery, unmute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you see my screen now?
great.
Okay.
Okay,
So I'll start.
yes, please.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining tonight's session. Today I will be walking you through things I do as a DevOps engineer using AWS, in which I'm gonna show you just an idea of how we can build an infrastructure using serverless technology where it can host an application. We're gonna be using technologies such as AWS Cloud Development Kit. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's a bit of advanced uh, topic for DevOps, and we're going to be using a Fargate ECS Fargate resource for AWS, which is also a serverless technology, as well as a DynamoDB database. Um, yeah. But before that, before diving to the technical details, I wanted to give you some context about the environment where I work for and why serverless has become a very critical part of our toolkit. By the way, my name is Clarissa Luke. I'm a DevOps engineer at Navitas, so it's an education provider. And I've been helping companies with developing CI/CD pipelines, cloud infrastructure, and automation stuff. And previously, I was a digital marketing consultant. So I'm totally different from where I am now. And I decided to pivot my career to get into software development because I just felt like I wanted to do programming and a bit of, talking to people, consulting at the same time. And yeah, so I'm currently in the tech community and I wanted to give back and by giving workshops, webinars, and speaking engagement. And of course, like there's no right or wrong. And I wanted to let the community know what I know. So so I'm happy to share my knowledge. So, I work in the education space and we have these teams of developers and DevOps, so two teams, and then we build systems, mostly integration systems that helps student from application like for the courses or the school that they want to go into to enrollment and then eventually until they graduated, choosing courses during break time and then payments as well until they go through graduation. So we develop different systems, enrollment platforms, lead generation systems, learning management integration APIs, and some other data systems that we're working on together with the developers and data engineers. And these systems connect to a very bigger part of education ecosystem. But if we look at it, if you imagine, like we have this, they are not usual web application, like just one web application and does certain tasks like login and then you can browse around. We have these different integration systems. It can be from on-prem, some are like schools that we connect, so they have some challenges. So for us, especially on the DevOps side of things, where we have some challenges that I want to share, like for example, if there are enrollment peaks, we have to scale instantly and we have to do automation of the scaling so that we will minimize the time spent on increasing the database or improving the user experience. And we also handle unpredictable traffic patterns. And of course, we want to deploy, for example, quickly across multiple environments in a way like we have a dev environment, we have a stage environment, QA environment before going to production. We don't want to create each resources on each environment manually, and we want to automate that. So as a DevOps engineer, we were involved in improving the process to make it seamless. Yeah, because we are a small team. Meanwhile, going to the actual tech stack later, I just want to share my experience as a DevOps engineer. And while I was learning from being a beginner, now I'm already in the mid-level. I'm still learning so much. It's not like you learn one time, you take the exam, and that's it. It's actually a journey. Different people will have different perspective on how they learn serverless or how they use serverless. So this is my story. So when I was learning serverless, when I was starting, so I'll just receive tasks from my team leader. Hey, build me a Lambda function that connects to an SQS and does this certain task. But when I was going forward with on my DevOps career, I was already like starting to build my own architecture. Like they will give me a certain problem, and then I will start thinking about how do I want to implement that. And then sometimes serverless is not the solution right away. You have to think more than that. But anyway, we're focusing on serverless at the moment. I'm just like sharing the difference between serverless and non-serverless. But what's the meaning of serverless, by the way? If you look at it, yeah, we don't have much time, but I will just explain it very briefly. So serverless is you build the infrastructure, and then you don't necessarily need to manage servers because it is hosted directly, for example, from a provider, a cloud provider, which is AWS. And then you can right away put your code into the serverless infrastructure and start your code there. You don't necessarily need to manage the patching or security that much, because you're focused on building your application or focus on the task that you want to do for that specific serverless. Well, so going back to this graph, while I was starting, I didn't know where to start actually, like when providing solution, especially the architecture side of things. Like if there's a problem, for example, one problem that I encountered is to obfuscate our database, production database. So when you say obfuscate, it's like you have a production data, and then this data shouldn't be the actual data that you want to use for your non-production environment, because like of course the developers wanted to use that data to test, but you don't want to show the actual data. So we have to also obfuscate. So obfuscate is just like matching, mix and matching some characters randomly, and then what the developers will see is just not the actual data. So that's one problem that I had. So how will I start doing it? So when I was still like, if I didn't know much about this spectrum, I would probably just start with EC2 or something. But like when I learned about serverless, so they told me, like especially my senior, they said like, oh, we can start with Lambda, and then eventually we can move forward if the implementation is not working. So when we were implementing it in Lambda, we realized that it was just 15-minute limit. So then I realized that it's not working, because in a way, when you obfuscate a database, it's composed of about 300 terabytes of data, and it takes so much time to process all the data to move it to the non-production environment. So like for me, I push it to an ECS Fargate serverless technology, which is really good because it takes out the limitation of 15-minute mark. And then what I realized is or like the comments of my senior DevOps engineer is actually maybe we can test out EC2 in terms of the budget of how comparing to Fargate instance. So when we tried both, and we realized that Fargate instance work for that particular use case, but we realized that actually EC2 is cheaper because we can set the EC2 to set it up and then eventually just turn it down when it's after 2 hours to process the data. So unlike if it's on Fargate, it's just too expensive to run the processing and to obfuscate the entire data. So in that way, I realized like you don't necessarily need to how do I say, to use serverless. You have to test it and see which one works best. And the good thing with this is the implementation is fast. It doesn't take weeks. You can implement it in days or even in minutes if you're more familiar with how to implement these systems. So yeah, this is just my experience with serverless. Now we're moving forward with our tech stack. So today I'm just going to show you a very brief idea, or like a very brief exposure for you to like see how the serverless app is being hosted in a serverless infrastructure. A web app is being hosted in a serverless infrastructure. I'm gonna be using AWS CDK, where actually it's an infrastructure as code. I'm not sure if you're that familiar yet, but instead the usual, if you're a beginner, you will go to the console, right? AWS console, and then you will create the resources one by one. Hey, I want to create ECS Fargate there, and click, 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 and then DynamoDB, etc. But in real world, if you're working as a DevOps engineer, should be more familiar with infrastructure as code, where you deploy these resources, AWS resources, through code. And there are many ways to do that, but one way is Cloud Development Kit, because the good thing with this is using very common programming language to deploy your resources. So you use Python or TypeScript, and it's also version controlled. Unlike if you do it on the console, you cannot see the changes or who it changed it. So with this one, you can push it on the code, and then somebody is able to review it and then deploy it. And then you can also deploy it not just in one environment. You can duplicate the same code, but just change the environment variables to production, for example. So they have different environment variables for development, and then for staging, and then production. So moving forward, so this is how the flow of the architecture looks like. So from above, not sure if you can see, I cannot see it from my end. So from the user side above, so for example, you have a front end website where users go in, and then before it goes to, I've told you about the Fargate service that we have, and then eventually the DynamoDB. I just put here a load balancer. I'm not sure if you're very familiar, but you cannot, most of the patterns that I saw in DevOps is like whenever there is a traffic that goes through, it goes to an ALB. It doesn't go through straightforward to the instance, because ALB is one integral part of traffic management, where the users go through this abstraction or a layer, and then the ALB will be the one routes all the traffic to a specific ECS service or a specific request of what the user is wanting to look at. But anyhow, we're focusing on just a very simple serverless infrastructure. So this is the Fargate service, and then this is where your app is being hosted, and then eventually, for example, the app is the one writing and reading to the DynamoDB. So just to let you have an idea of, where is that? I have why is my, sorry, stop sharing. I will share again. Share again. I will show you my code. So this is, if you can let me know if you are not able to see, I'm sharing my Visual Studio Code dashboard. And then this is an example of the the CDK that I was talking to you about, and we are using TypeScript. So if you're wondering how I build this, I just followed a library, of course, with the help of ChatGPT and Claude, put this all together because I'm familiar with how to use it. So I'm more like it's easier for me to develop. So this is how it looks like. Here, the TypeScript where you declare or define all your resources for the one that you wanted to build. There's a certain documentation on how to create them, on how to use these resources. It takes some time to learn, but if you're familiar, then this is how it looks like. Sorry. We have the other resources that is not mentioned in our architecture, but it's part of the requirement to build your entire application as a part of the security. Sorry. And then we want to deploy all of these resources in our AWS console. So if I'm going to share it to you, you will see like yeah. So if I will deploy this CDK deploy, this will actually connect to my AWS console, which I'm going to share you in a bit. Where's that? Not sure if you can see. Share. Yeah. Why is it that I cannot make the... Mhm. Ah, yeah, I'm not able to let you show what, because it should be deploying now. AWS. So in the console, it's deploying the resources. So if you're familiar with going into the console, and it takes some time to really like connect everything, but it's not part of our topic for today. But we deploy the resources using CDK, and then it will create a CloudFormation template where the CloudFormation template will be the one who will create the resources. So let me just, sorry. Anyhow, I have a screenshot that I wanted to share to you. Give me a second because it's switching tabs is the one that, yeah, that is taking some time. So once we implement that, it will look like this. Yeah. So it will create the stack, and then eventually will create the resources for your stack. So the VPC, the ECS, and the other resources that are involved. And then eventually, this is how the the ECS service will look like. Some of the real world scenarios that can be used for this type of pattern is actually like having a serverless web application backend, and it can be like a part of the entire there's a front end, and the architecture is actually the back end where it can act as an API layer that can handle user authentication and then data processing for a certain type of task where it can save and store data to the DynamoDB. Anyhow, we're almost done. So the key takeaway for this is there are many ways to provide solutions, but for us, we start with serverless, and then eventually we scale it to programmatically based from the spectrum that I've showed you earlier. And then we use EC2 as well, only when needed. And then with serverless, we, instead of implementing it in weeks or days, we can test right away in just a few minutes. We deploy the resources that are production ready, and then we can test it out if it's working or not. And then aside from that, with serverless, we also pay for the value, or whenever we only use it, not like EC2 where you have to pay if you, even if you're not using it. And then with having these serverless systems, technologies that you're using, we are a small team, then we can um, use our resources on building features for improvements and automations for our infrastructure, and instead not focus on managing the infrastructure that we have, just like if you have EC2 instances. I think that's pretty much it. I will stop sharing. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Clarissa. So that was a wonderful presentation. So, as mentioned earlier, I really love serverless. So hearing serverless talked about more and more in many different contexts these days makes me very happy. So I was also very interested in your product, right? So, and I felt that it's built with a very clean architecture in mind. So recently, especially in the context of DevOps, I feel that we are being asked to choose the right approach depending on the purpose, whether that's automation, workflow, or now even AI, right? So, and with things like frontier agent emerging, the role of humans is changing, and the skills we expect to have continue to evolve as well. So I think being a low cost is a frugal architecture is frugality architecture is something we should always be mindful of, but at the same time we don't want to lose sight of the real purpose.
Yeah.
Uh, Excuse me, this ended up sounding like just my own thoughts. I'm sorry. But truly, this was an excellent use case and a great presentation. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
love to, yeah, thank you. I love to share this with my colleagues, especially our QA engineers.
Thank you.
So does
Um,
anyone have, okay, all right. Mhm.
I actually wanted to explain more about the concepts of each of the topics that I was sharing, but it's just like too short time. I'm happy to, if you prefer, just let me know which topic you want to talk about, like setting up your AWS. For example, for people who are interested to learn how to set up
Oh,
your AWS account and then do some projects that you want to work on without really spending that much. But of course, yeah, it requires, your own, you have to set up the account with your I think credit card or something, just to start with it. But then, like, yeah, that's the one way to learn. That's how I did it. And I just made sure I don't have that much money on my card so that it would not incur cost.
mhm,
But yeah, I mean, I can do that kind of session if you prefer as well, just to help you set up your AWS account.
mhm. Nice. Great. Thank you. Thank you. So, does anyone have any comments or question for her? Okay, all right. Once again, thank you so much. So I
Welcome.
hope next time. Thank you. Thank you. So, and now let's move on to our final speakers today. So, Delani, are you ready?
Yep, I'm here. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, hope it's visible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, cool. Hi,
Great.
folks. Okay, I'll go ahead. I am Dharani Soundarya. I am a lead DevOps engineer and I'm currently working in Equal Experts India. Quick intro about me. I have an overall experience of 10.5 plus years now, out of which I've been in cloud and DevOps and related technologies, SRE and all of that for almost 8.5 years. I'm from Tamil Nadu, India. It's almost at the southern part of India. We're all the way at the bottom. And I am an AWS community builder. I've been AWS community builder for the second year now. And I am a public conference speaker. I have a bunch of talks that I've spoken that has been published. And I write as well. I have a Medium blog where I write about technical topics, and I have a Substack where I write about personal topics or topics that I am interested in. That's a very quick intro about me. So this is how my work went. And like I started as a Java developer, even though it says analyst, I started as a Java developer. This was around 2015 to 2018. And I shifted to DevOps engineer around 2018, 2020. And I became a lead DevOps consultant, a senior, and then eventually a lead in ThoughtWorks India, 21 to 2024. And finally, a lead DevOps engineer right now. I'm working in Equal Experts. So I want to spend a little bit of time on how I started as a cloud engineer. So the journey was very, very interesting in the sense that I started as a Java developer, and this was around 2015, 16, and unfortunately, I got into a project where I had to just copy code from I had to open an IDE and I had to copy code from right to left because at the time we were kind of rewriting our code from an old tech stack to a new tech stack. In the beginning, it was fun, but soon I got really bored. So what happened around the time was, everyone were talking about cloud. Cloud was the buzzword. Everyone were talking about DevOps, and that was the talk of the town. And luckily, I got a chance. The chance was a very simple thing. I had to go into cloud, I had to go into a system, and then basically create a EC2 instance. That's it. A very simple task. I was given a very simple task, and I went to the console, created an EC2 instance, created the security group, and IAM role. And I was amazed because here I was, pressing a few keys on my laptop, and a server was assigned to me, and the server I was able to connect remotely from India. The server was in North Virginia. At the time, we were working, even before cloud, we were used to working in data centers. But now I could connect to any region with the help of cloud. And that was really fascinating for me. I could play around with a few things on the console, and I can end up creating VPCs, I can end up creating network interfaces, switches, routers. All of this was very, very fascinating for me. And soon enough, I fell in love with the whole process, and I started upskilling myself on cloud. And I joined some courses and trainings that was provided by the company itself. And soon enough, yeah, I learned the intricacies of it, how to do, what to do, and I did a certification as well. And the interest peaked, and I thought I wanted to get into cloud and DevOps related technologies rather than staying as a Java developer. So I applied as a Java developer, applied as a DevOps engineer in my second company. And that's how I became a full-time DevOps slash cloud engineer. So, and then there, the experiences were so varied. I was able to set up an end-to-end system using DevOps and cloud and related technologies. Like, for example, what I mean by that is we were in a setup where we were supposed to create this very high availability API gateway that had to have 99.999% availability. So during which we faced a lot of issues. I learned production support. SRE, site reliability engineering, how can you make the site reliable? How can you make it more easier? How can you automate it as much as possible? And how can you build a completely reliable, high availability system is something that I learned there. And from there, with that experience, I jumped to my third company where I started as a senior DevOps consultant, where I worked in multiple projects. And all of these projects I got an experience for end-to-end data center to cloud migration, end-to-end CI/CD automation setup, infrastructure setup using Terraform, security setup, highly reliable systems, and big data related projects where I had to set up an end-to-end data pipeline and all of the related stuff. And from there, I moved to my fourth company, which I'm in right now, where I'm working with a UK stock trading client, where we are setting up their ledger system and where we are completely setting it up end to end through automation. And I'm leading the effort there. So this was my whole journey as a cloud engineer, and I've loved every part of it. I've learned so much throughout this journey, and I enjoy being a cloud or a DevOps engineer or an SRE engineer and the challenges that it brings. And that's my journey. So the skills and expertise that I do have is I've done almost 15 projects and end-to-end data center to cloud migration, like I told you, high availability system setup, automation, architecting for cloud, and I'm really, really passionate about training and teaching new graduates or mentoring people who are getting into cloud and DevOps, and particularly women, because at least in my case, I'm not seeing a lot of women in DevOps and related technologies. So I am very passionate about mentoring them and providing enough training and teaching so that it will become easier for them. And I'm also really passionate about giving public conference talks. So the reason I like AWS and the role of AWS in my career is, luckily, or I don't know, all of my projects were in AWS. It's not like I chose it, but all of my projects, even in a consulting company where we get varied type of projects, all of my projects have been in AWS, and I've been working with AWS throughout. I do have experience in GCP and Azure. I've set up simple projects there, but all of my major projects were in AWS. And I love it because of the documentation. I've got used to it, I can say. I can understand the documentation easily. And the community around AWS is amazing. The content that you find online for AWS is great. And you have all of these folks who know so much, who share and they share amazing knowledge online. And you don't even have to pay for it. You can just go to YouTube and you can learn about any topic, and you can, upskill yourself easily. And I felt like when compared to other cloud providers, it is easier for me to use the services, probably because I got used to it, but it's just a personal opinion. And every single time I've got great support. Whenever I had issues in AWS, whenever I had troubles, problems, I had great support from the AWS folks as well. And that's why the role of AWS plays an important in my cloud journey. And that's why I like it a lot. So over this period of 10.5 years, I've given multiple conference talks. The most recent one, creating Terraform test suite using AI. I did this a couple of months back, where I talked about how you can use Claude and MCP so that you can generate Terraform test cases. I am a huge supporter of testing in infrastructure automation, because testing in infrastructure automation is still lacking, and we should be promoting it as much as possible as a community of DevOps folks, as a community of folks who are working in cloud. That is something that I'm really passionate about, and that is something that I talk about a lot and try to implement as much as possible. And I felt like there is a gap in how we are constructing our automation. I felt like most of the projects do not give as much importance to infrastructure testing as they do for, let's say, a code testing. At the end of the day, having a good test stack for infrastructure will remove a lot of negative um, outcomes that comes as it comes to a DevOps engineer, right? Like if you worked as a DevOps engineer, or if you worked as a cloud engineer, you might have come across production issues and how stressful they are. And having a good Terraform test suite, if you're using Terraform on that thing, if you're using any code, it's up to you. But having some kind of a test suite for your infrastructure code is very, very important. And that way, we can also automate it as much as possible so that we can create reliable infrastructure. That is something that I'm really passionate about. But unfortunately, because of the lack of tooling or the lack of knowledge around it, I don't see a lot of teams or people doing it. So for that, I was looking into solutions, and I created this MCP in using Claude, where using the information that I am providing to this MCP, I'd be able to generate Terraform test cases. And it removes the biggest block for new developers and new DevOps folks, because usually it takes a lot of time for them. It takes a lot of time to upskill themselves and then apply it and then test it and then go back and forth, because usually our Terraform code, if you're writing Terraform, that is, usually they are very long. And this kind of deters people from writing Terraform test cases because it takes a lot of time. So I was wondering how we can do it better, how we can make it better. And I wrote this Claude MCP. It's there in GitHub as well. If you get a chance to see the YouTube video, I would have talked about the GitHub repo as well. And the GitHub repo is, everything is open source. You can go ahead and then use that MCP. And what it does is it generates test cases for you, and it generates test cases within a few minutes. However, the catch is, since AI is nothing but training on the data that you provide, right? And if I'm using Claude as a tool, the content that it is trained is very less when it comes to Terraform testing. So what happens is that it won't be able to give you as accurate results as, let's say, if you're generating something like a Python or a Java based testing stack or suit. So the accuracy is a little less, but with all the tweaks that I provided with the MCP, you'd be able to get at least 80 to 85% of the test cases, and you'd be able to create all of those test cases within a few minutes. That 15%, we need someone in the middle, either a man or a woman in the middle. We have to go ahead and then we have to look through the code, and then we have to identify what is missing, and we have to train the AI systematically during the window to make it better. So I've covered everything, all of the steps that you need to do to make it more accurate in the YouTube video. And I've also presented about Terraform testing. There is a Terraform test framework the Terraform itself offers in the HashiTalks Build 2024 that talks in detail about the testing suite or the tools that you can use. And the PlatformCon 2024 talk is a minor or a shorter version of the HashiTalks Build 2024 version. And I've talked about self-service infra, which means that it is the fourth talk talks about how you can create infra with just a few clicks. Like, let's say you go to Amazon or something, you go and just place an order, and that will get delivered to you, right? Similarly, how can you make that easy for developers? Let's say if you are going into a big organization and almost all of the needs will be repeated. For example, a typical organization will have, let's say, a Kubernetes based tech stack or a ECS based tech stack if you're in AWS, or a serverless based tech stack, or it can be a static website hosting tech stack. So if we find the patterns, is there a way for us to automate this using self-service infra, like where I can use something like a service catalog, where with just a few clicks and a few of the information, is it possible for me to create an infrastructure at the backend? And is it possible for me to make it as simple as possible for the developer so that it remains dry and it is easier for anyone who's coming as a new person to the cloud or engineering space and deploy whatever they want as a final product within a few weeks instead of maybe a couple of months or 4 to 5 months. So that talks about self-service infra. And I also mentioned that I worked on big data projects. So there I got a chance to work on Spark, setting up Spark, Apache Spark on Kubernetes. And the Geek Night 2022 talks about that. And I also am really passionate about chaos engineering. I got a chance to work on a project where we can introduce chaos into our infrastructure to make it more reliable, to make it more available, so that we are end up providing very, very stable systems. And how to achieve that, what are the tools that you can use for that, and what is the concept of chaos engineering is covered in that last talk. I'm really passionate about public conference talks, and I'm finding opportunities. And whenever I'm learning something new or implementing something new, I want to share it to the community so that it helps others as well. And this has been my experience. And the final thing is, I do have a TopMate link that I've shared here. You can find it in my LinkedIn profile as well. I also do free mentoring for women, first time graduates, or DevOps folks who wants to get into DevOps. If you feel like you are stuck, if you feel like you are a bit you want to understand about the career a bit, you want to know how it works, you want to know the internals of it, you want to know how the work life balance is. If you are someone who's new, let's say a first time graduate who's coming out from they can be from a rural area, they can be from the city, but they are a little bit hesitant. Anything and everything. If you want to get into DevOps, you can reach out to me through my TopMate. It's completely free of cost. We can have a conversation where I can guide you with the knowledge that I have. And that's my LinkedIn profile. I also write about the technical topics in my Medium blogs, and this is a way for you to contact me. Maybe you can take a screenshot of that is something that you are interested in, and I'd be happy to help any of you going forward in your career. That's about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such an amazing, amazing your story. So it feels like we have a lot of DevOps engineers with us today. Yes, and that makes me really happy. Thank you so much. So you have a very impressive engineering career. So starting out as a Java developer is especially interesting, and I really enjoyed hearing your story. So I also felt that your journey as a DevOps engineer is very clear and really shaped. So, by the way, in Japan, many engineers actually learn Java basics during their first year of professional training. Yeah. So, and yes. So, communities and documentation always help us so much. Hmm. So, and as you mentioned, I really hope will see more women in DevOps and also in data engineering, right? So I agree. Hun- uh, so I agree. So this is a very exciting field right now. Right now. So and as mentioned earlier, front agents are really hot topics these days as well, and also cost engineering, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I definitely want to take a look at your GitHub. I should. You should. Yeah. Truly inspiring work. Yes. Thank you. So does anyone have any comments or question for Danny?
Arigato gozaimasu for the wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, yes, thank you, thank you. So after attention. After attention one. So really comments. Oh, there are a lot comments on chat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll share my GitHub link just a second.
Mm-hmm. GitHub and today's your slide too.
Sure, sure.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, do you have any question? No? Okay. Yes, I hope next time comes engineering, sorry, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Mhm. Yes, it's very important. Yes, yes, for now. Okay, so thank you again for taking time to present today, especially with such a busy schedule. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, all right. With that, I'd like to move on to our closing talk for today. I'd like to move on to yes. So once again, let's give our speakers a big round of applause. Thank you. So with that, we'll move into our closing. Thank you so much uh, everyone for being with us today. And a special thank you to those who stayed until the very end. I truly appreciate it again. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of our speakers. Your stories, ideas, and perspectives were truly inspiring, and we learned so much from each of you. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, and passion with us. Uh, as we wrap up today's session, feel free to drop your social links in the chat so we can stay connected beyond today. So, and if you are enjoying this meetup, please feel free to share it with your AWS friends. We love to welcome even more people next time. So this meetup marks the beginning of a new year for our community. So, and I'm really excited about what's ahead. I'm grateful for the connections we are building, the conversations we are having, and new faces are joining us from around the world. So this year, let's keep learning, sharing, and growing together. So one step at a time as a global community. So thank you so much for being part of this journey. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you again to our next meetup. So thank you everyone and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.